Because according to it says that they forwarded the samples to FSL for analysis. So FSL presumably would have requested the sample, or are they doing it of their own initiative?
I'm not sure of the details in relation to that, Commissioners, but I can follow up on that.
Now, if all the exhibits were supposed to go to the FSL, can you think of any reason why samples would be taken beforehand and a day or actually 2 days after the seizure?
Commissioners, from all the other inquiries of similar seizures that I've read and perused, this is the only matter where such samples were obtained. So I find it extremely strange why it would have been done differently now. The only conclusion I can come to is that it was never the intention to take this whole batch of exhibits to the Forensic Science Laboratory.
In other words, it was never the intention for the 541 kilograms.
The 541 bricks. I'm referring to the totality of it, Commissioners.
Thank you, General. Then, General, there's a subtopic, procedural failings during the search and seizure operation, paragraph 48.
In drug bust cases, the presence of drugs within a shipment does not in itself establish knowledge on the part of persons associated with that shipment. Thus, evidence collected at the crime scene is crucial, especially physical evidence in the form of fingerprints and DNA from the bricks and the container seal and the wrapping used to wrap the drugs. If this evidence is not collected or collected incorrectly, the already slim chance of identifying the perpetrators is made all the more unlikely.
General, can we just deal with the first part, the slim chance? How successful are you in actually finding the perpetrators of consignment, these kind of trafficking?
Commissioners, not that successful, especially in cases where the rip-on, rip-off method is being utilized due to the fact that these crimes are committed in secrecy and only